The Torah portion for this week is Metzora. It's the second of two parshiot that talk about skin disease, what we would call black mold on houses, various kinds of bodily discharges, and how to welcome the affected people back into the community. It's a very extensive ritual involving birds, water, cedar wood, crimson stuff, which I think is yarn or scraps of fabric, and hyssop, and the offering of a lamb on the 8th day after the ritual began. There's a lot of sprinkling of water and blood, and the person who's been pronounced cured is anointed by the priest on the right ear, the right thumb, and the right big toe, and oil on the head. This is very similar to the ritual used when the priest is anointed, probably to make it clear to everyone that the person is well and truly cured of the skin disease. Something to note is that if the person can't afford to bring a lamb, they're permitted to bring a turtle dove or pigeon so the ritual can happen. Then there are houses. As we know, sometimes due to dampness or something in the air, walls can develop what we call now black mold. And it happened in those days too. There are procedures for cleaning the house and waiting, just as there are for a person. If the mold comes back after repairs have been made, then the house must be taken down, and all the stones and timber have to be removed from the city. If the house is clean, then the birds, water, cedar wood, crimson stuff, and hyssop are brought. One bird is slaughtered over the bowl of water, and the cedar wood, crimson stuff, and the other bird are dipped in the bloody water. The house is sprinkled with the water 7 times. Then the other bird is set free outside the city. This symbolic purification, this purification of the house is very similar to the scapegoat on Yom Kippur. We can look at these instructions wearing our anthropologist hat and say, isn't it interesting how they seem to think that skin disease on the outside indicated some sort of internal spiritual dis-ease? And by having such an elaborate ritual, they made sure that 1, even a poor person could participate in it, and 2, by lending the priest's authority and the public ritual to the statement that the person was cured, there was no doubt that the person could be fully welcomed back into the community. Well, yes, that anthropology hat definitely works. And we can also use our tradition of creatively changing the reading of a word by changing its vowels. Metzora means a person with tsarat, a skin disease, not what we understand as leprosy or Hansen's disease. By changing the vowels, we can read it at motzi ra, bringing forth evil, that is, evil words, gossip, bad-mouthing, slander, rumor-mongering, anything that can ruin another's reputation. We know how powerful speech is. God spoke and created the world. We also know how quickly rumors can ruin someone's reputation. There's a Talmudic teaching that saying something that embarrasses someone is tantamount to killing them. The Chafetz Chaim teaches that saying anything about someone else is to be avoided, lest it lead to slipping into saying something bad about them. There are numerous rules about when it's permissible to say what specific things about someone else. Not only can we badly damage others and our community by speaking about them, being in the habit of negative speech can damage ourselves, our inner core, our souls. When we recognize that we've slipped and spoken ill about someone in private conversation, we can let the person we spoke to know that we now recognize what we said was incorrect or spoken out of anger or spite, and say that we're sorry. If we said something publicly, we must retract and apologize in the same space with the same people as much as possible as witnesses. I had a teacher once who somehow got onto politics, and so thought of a funny story or joke about Republicans and said, I hope there are no Republicans here, and then told the joke. The very next week, the teacher said there were Republicans in the room, and they were hurt by what I said. So I want to take this opportunity to apologize to them and resolve not to make that kind of joke again. It's so rare to be in the presence of someone who takes it seriously and makes amends publicly. The teacher could have just have simply apologized to the people, but wanted to make a point to the class about the importance of being aware of what we say. So, in these turbulent times, let us resolve to guard our tongues, and when we speak about others, do it thoughtfully, without negating their inherent worth as a human being made in the image of the Holy One, blessed be. Dibarti.